And because a lot of people think guys are cheap. A lot of them are cheap. But I think from a male's perspective, if I was a dude and I had this bitter ass baby's mom trying to make my life a living hell, I would sure as fuck not be like, let me go do everything. I don't even want to be around this broad. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to minimize, my presence around her, because if it's toxic, if you create a peaceful, environment, dude will just want to be there for his kid, and won't even mind, if being around the baby's mom, if it's cordial and it's peaceful. And I think honestly, on his own, if you can make it peaceful, he will want to be there. He won't mind if you ask him for something for your kid. Okay, I got you. You know what I mean? I think it's when you create a hostile situation is when it's like it's discouraging on both sides. Like, don't nobody want to deal with that.
I think that's probably why some of the guys, if we talk about men taking off, because probably most of the times men are the one that's leaving. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why they're leaving. It's
Yeah,
toxic.
hell yeah, it
It's
is.
bad. Who wants to argue? I don't want to walk into an argument. We damn sure don't need to argue in front of the kids. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That doesn't fix anything. That's just making it worse.
Man,
But
I
I
have a
do.
baby mama. I don't have no baby. I have a baby mama. All the
Yeah.
stuff that men go through with their baby mamas is exactly what I deal with my bitter ass baby daddy.
Oh.
So
That's
I'm on the
funny.
opposite side because I'm like, nigga, please leave. Sign over your rights and leave me the fuck
Yeah.
alone.
Right.
It's opposite for me. So
Yeah. But I
Yep.
feel what she just said. It's like, for me, it's like literally, can you do me a favor and sign over your rights? Because literally, if you have two different parenting techniques, by the time, and let's say you have a schedule, a week on, week off, by the time your kids come back and they're all hell's breaking loose over there, it takes you a week to get them back on track. So then by the time they bounce, like for me, it's like you do me a solid, but that would hurt my kids, right? It's not in their best interest. So I would never do that. But if I had it my way and I didn't have to, regard their emotions, I would be like, sign these papers, bro. Do me a solid and go,
Although I see. Look at Gigi clapping hands. She didn't know she was on mute, but let me get her.
Say something about
There
the.
you go, Gigi. Go ahead. What you say?
So when my children used to come back home, it was like it literally took like a week for them to get back on track. It was like for them to realize that you can go into the refrigerator, you don't have to ask. You can go to the like all these freedoms that don't exist at their dad's house. They exist here. You know who you are. You know what this is over here. But they felt so confined over there. And it was so sad to me because I raised them to be this type of human being. And so, like Steph just said, to get back on track, it literally took them a week. But what if I don't have that motherfucking week?
Yeah. It's
So I have
annoying. It makes the shit so hard. Y'all don't even know. It's rough. It is rough, rough.
Mm.
It is rough. And for me to be a woman that I have like my ex-husband who makes so much more money than me, who has 4 cars, who lives in a nice house, who has a wife that is a family law paralegal, who
Mhm.
in this like family custody case, her best friend so your wife is a family law paralegal, and then your best friend is your attorney. Oh, there's no
That's
conflict.
like a total conflict of interest, by the way. I
There's
just
no
want to throw that out
conflict.
there.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm living this life, and mind you, they're all white, and I don't care. I'm half white, but I don't care if like this ain't about race, whatever. But it is. It is a little bit of about race. Like it really motherfucking is. But oh no, this is not a conflict of interest. Yes, motherfucker, it is.
It is.
Hey, Jason. I see you up there, man. So go ahead and tell me. I know you had got custody. Is this about race, man? Because you.
All right. Look, everybody's gonna look at me and see the white boy. They ain't gonna understand the dynamics of who I am or what I am. All three of my children are interracial. My first ex-wife was a black woman. Freddie went to school with her. He remembers her. I got one son who's yellow with all the predominantly black features, and I got one black son who's
Hey,
all white.
hey, hey, I'm yellow now.
You know what I'm saying? And I got a Mexican son who's as white as a snowflake.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, were you able to maintain counsel that was free because of circumstances like your wife having her best friend being your attorney?
I never had that kind of situation, but it was more or less of going back
I
to
just would like for you to like position yourself and idealize that.
yeah, no. Going back to like what Steph said is, and even Gigi, when you get your kids back from the other party after you raise them, like again, I have full custody. She only got every other weekend. And when I lived in Southern Cal and she was still here in Northern Cal, she got once a month during the school year. So she didn't have a whole lot of time with them. But when they came back, it was always, how was your weekend? What happened? This and that, just normal conversation. I don't give a crap about her. I'm not trying to worry about what she's doing in her life. I'm not sending my kids up there to spy on her. I'm sending them up there because the court told me that I have to give her some time with these children. She didn't have any time with the children because I had full custody. I had full custody for over 3 years, and then she decided she wanted to come back and play mom after I went through and did all the hard shit with me and my parents. Like,
So I'm sorry to interrupt you. I got a question though. So what were the circumstances? Of course, you don't have to put your business out there, but behind you getting the full custody. Because I feel like, yeah, I feel like the kids need on both sides. They need both parents. So, but I get,
and my youngest son does have that, so that's part two to that one. The first one, she wasn't ready to be a mom. She was too busy dating the young kid in the supermarket that she worked at. She was too busy hanging out with her family and her cousins and all this other kind of stuff. So it was like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I love my sons and I'm going to take care of them. Like, I have them, they're with me. Just give me full custody so I can put them in the school that's closest to me, so I can take care of their doctors and not have to worry about it. I'm not going to exclude you, but allow me to make all the parental needs because you're up there 400 miles away and I'm here with them. So she signed them over. She didn't argue. She didn't fight. She didn't do nothing. She signed them over. Free nilly. There was no negotiation. I didn't have to pay her. I didn't have to beg her. She just signed them. Cool. 3 years later, the boy in the stockroom became her husband, and she's like, I want the kids back because we're ready to start a family. I'm like, you're not taking my kids to start your family. You can go start your own.
Yeah.
She couldn't do that because I got the bitch fixed after we got divorced.
Yeah. And you know what's fucked up too is like I feel like from a different standpoint, some parents are not consistent. They're there when it's
Very
convenient for them. And
Very
I
much.
feel like that also causes hella harm. So if you have like a parent that's in and out or only there when it's convenient, that really fucks the kid up. Like
Very
for
much.
real.
Very much.
So I think in that circumstance, if it was me, I'd be like, bitch, you're cut. Because you gotta protect your kids too at the same time. You know?
And then
I have
also
a
the other thing is
question.
like I always try to teach my kids too, is like because of our
To
dynamics.
have your kids,
Pardon?
if you really want to have your kids, and like that parent who says, I don't want to have my kids, and if they are not proven unsafe, then child support should come into play. Like if you're literally like, I don't want to have my children.
Well, so I signed over when she gave me the kids. I said, I don't want any child support from you. I want nothing. I will take care of it all myself. I'll pay for the benefits, dental, health, everything. I will take care of it all. Don't want nothing. When she came back and she tried to take the kids from me, and I went and hired my lawyer, I won. She got once a month during the school year. Then she sued me again 2 years later, and she got 1 week during the summertime. 2 years later, she sued me a third time to try to take them away. And on that time, I told my lawyer, I want back custody. I said, I'm tired of this. I'm paying you thousands and thousands of dollars for her to just keep coming back every 2 years and drag me through the mud and say that I'm a bad father, that these kids are bad, that they're going to be better off living with her because she's their mother and I'm just the white father. Like, that don't work. Yeah. My children don't see color. We're not black. We're not white. We're people. We're Americans. We are humans. My son's not black. He's my son. My son's not Mexican. He's my son. I don't look at colors. We don't teach colors in this house. You have a problem with that? You can get the fuck out.
Yeah.
My house.
I don't necessarily say that you teach colors, but at the same time, my daughter got like punched the other day 10 times in the face by a white girl. And there was a little girl who got punched like 3 times by a black girl, and the black girl got expelled. And guess what happened to the white girl that punched my daughter 10 times in the face? Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, today is crazy. I mean, not to say that I haven't dealt with racism. I mean, my sons have had to deal with it in their lives, and you teach them. Look, you got to give people the opportunity to be better than what they are.
Saying.
Yeah, you got to give the people the opportunity to be better than what they are. If they say something like, "Yo, apologize for what you just said," otherwise, I'm gonna enact my vengeance on you. And we've had
I'm
to
gonna
have
beat
that
your mom up if you fuck with my kids.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it's her fault.
Exactly.
You want to teach your kids to be motherfuckers? I'll beat your ass.
I can't hit no woman, so I'm gonna have to call one of y'all to handle something if everything like that.
Right?
So,
That's crazy.
man.
But wait,
Let's get it.
Jason, can you continue with your story? I'm sorry I interrupted.
Yeah, no. Where did I leave off? What was I on? I was on the support thing. So yeah, like I got sued 4 times over a 5-year period by this woman who every time she got CPS to come in, investigate me, investigate my family, look through my house, look through my finances, look at the kids' schooling to make sure that I wasn't a deadbeat father. Like if I was a deadbeat father, my kids would be wearing holes in their clothes and they'd be bruised. And they wouldn't have their haircuts and they wouldn't be malnourished. They would be malnourished.
You could tell. Yeah.
You can tell. And if you meet my older sons today, most people will tell you like they're 2 of the most well-refined men that you'll ever meet. They're just great. They're humble. They're honest. They have integrity. Like the things that I try to teach my youngest son as well too with the older ones. But it's like you attack me because I'm doing a better job than what you can do, but I'm the one that gets punished for it. So. In that aspect of it, like the father of child support, I didn't ask her for child support. I want nothing to do with that woman. I would probably have a party if she got hit by a truck. Like we're celebrating, we're barbecuing. I'm calling you.
No, it's fucked up because some people make it that hostile. Like if it's bad when they make the shit really rough, it just makes you like because all in all, regardless if you're not together, like for me, I care if my ex is okay, because if he's not good, my kids ain't good, and vice versa. He should care if I'm straight, because you know what I'm saying. If we are both around the kids feel your energy, like you know what I mean. If mom's all hysterical and emotional, you know what I mean, or if dad's like bitter or whatever, kids feel that stuff.
So part 2 to that one is that my second ex-wife, and I know that sounds like I'm Ross from Friends, but I digress. But when we got together and we were dating, I was going through my bullshit with my first, and she saw that. So when we got together and we had a baby, we separated about a year after he was born, and we got back together and we worked everything out for a little bit, and then it just broke down. But her concern was when we started talking about separating again for good was, I don't want you to take my son away from me. And I said, look, you were there when I went through all this stuff, and you saw exactly how I did that. I had high blood pressure. I was on medication. I was seeing a therapist. I was talking to straight, trying to figure out what it was that I was doing wrong with my children, that these courts would just try to take my sons away from me. And I said, I want to have a relationship with you. I need to have a relationship with you. My son needs to know that I can have a relationship with you as his mother. To this day, I love my second ex-wife.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly love her in my heart. She is an awesome woman. She is a great mother to my son. She doesn't ask me for anything. Or she doesn't let me say that. She asked me for things.
But you see how you hold her in high regards, because she wasn't out there to get you, trying to make your life a hell. So you see how you're talking about her. You guys are separated, but you are, this is what the reality, what it is. Because she ain't over there trying to press you and make your life a living hell, and you guys just work as a team. That's literally how it has to be.
Very much so. So, and part of the thing is that I told her too is like, I was making some good money at the time, but I wasn't making great money. But I was like, hey, don't take me for child support. I will pay for everything that you need. I won't pay your rent, your car notes. I'm not paying your bills, but I will pay for your mental, your health, your dental, your eye, and our son. I'm going to take care of all that stuff. Then she was like, well, I don't want to keep him in this school. I want to put him in a private school. And I was like, that's going to cost more money. But you know what? I'd rather pay money to put him into a private school that he's not going to a public school in California and learning about all that weird shit that's going on right now, and deal with that. But she still does. To this day, she's got a code to my house that when she wants to come up to Sacramento, she's welcome anytime.
Yep.
And when I go
so
down,
you guys agree with child support then?
What's that?
Do you agree with child support?
I
You guys
don't
think
agree.
it's
I
No.
don't
needed?
agree with
You
child
think it should
support.
be done,
Doesn't
gone?
matter.
I
What you
just
feel
say,
like-
Cash?
I just feel like it's really insane for adults to deal with the court. I just feel like the system is not designed for
Fact.
us to survive or succeed. They
Yeah.
have their own agenda. It's a business at the end
Yep.
of the day.
There it
I
is.
just feel like as an adults, we have to take accountability of our healing, our self-awareness, and our core
There you go.
values and our educations and stuff like that. Because I feel like a lot of people, they go into this world and they just doing shit. I'm sorry for
Yeah.
cussing, doing stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And like I agree with I think her name is Stephanie. I agree
Yeah.
with Stephanie. A lot of people use kids to weaponize the situation, and I feel like it's very selfish. I wasn't raised by my biological parents. My mom gave me up when I was younger. I'm not here to just talk about my business, but I know how it is to live without my biological parents. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I did grow into a great woman, but I do want to be a mother one day. I'm not a mother, but I have siblings, I have cousins, I have friends that are male that are dealing with child support. I have a brother who's dealing with child support behind a bitter woman, you know what I'm saying? And I see how his life is just not the same, you know? And I just feel like people need to do some deep healing and stop being selfish and take accountability. If you was to have a child, I feel like it's everybody's responsibility. If they're not deranged or not able, they need to take care of that child because the child didn't ask to be here just like you. Once you have a child, you need to take accountability for that and raise the
Exactly.
baby. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's a lot of variables. You know, we have Title IX issues where people are being raped. You know what I'm saying? We have issues where it's just a lot of stuff that comes in with it. But I'm against child support completely. 99% I'm for it is when someone is just not safe. You know what I'm saying? And they do not want to get involved. You know what I'm saying? But it's just I just feel like once you have a child and you're able and you capable, if you can go to work every day and listen to somebody else's demands, you can take care of that child and go to work
Yep.
too and take care of it. You know what I mean?
If
But
you
yeah,
can
that's
have
just
sex,
me.
you could take care of that baby for sure.
Absolutely, because we're
Yep.
adults.
And I think
Yeah, I agree.
again, we're
I
adults.
agree
We're
to
not kids. We should be able to agree together on our own. Like she said, these courts. They're out to get you for real.
Yeah,
The
fact.
system is
It's
set
the
up
business.
to where they.
Yeah.
That's why they don't even the amounts that they want are unreasonable. They want to hit you with the max so they can get higher fees because they charge interest even on that shit. Like
Yeah.
if you let's say you owe back pay, interest is accruing on that shit like if it was a loan. So you see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So again, we're not kids, we're not teens. We all got choices. If you don't want to, be supported financially, then you have a choice. Like make a choice. You can sign the papers, and I don't have to see you or deal with you. You know what I mean? Because really, it'll make my life a lot smoother and hell of
But
it.
that's the cold thing. That's where the issue come in
But
at.
if you want, you
Because
can't.
you can sign
You
papers.
can't want to be there, in and out, because then you're harming the kid. You want to be there when it's convenient for you. That really fucks the kid up too. So really, it's better for you to just sign your rights away and be gone.
But you
You know,
still,
but-
but when you
but
sign
the-
your rights away, you're still liable for child support. The guy
No,
still
no,
has
you're
to
not.
pay. Yes,
Well, first of all, child support's illegal. So let's get that out the way. We ain't even gonna go there.
that's what make it messed up. You
Well, child
you guys
support's
come to an
illegal,
agreement.
but if you don't
Let's
know
just
the
say
law,
you sign
then-
your rights away, but you're still liable for child support.
No, that's
know,
why
that's
you
what's
sign your
messed up
rights away,
about
because it eliminates the child support.
I
That means you have
think-
no
I kind of think
interest
like
in
at the
kid.
beginning, when you become pregnant, like for instance, when you guys are pregnant, I can't tell you guys what to do with your body. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to make that decision on your own. But as soon as you become pregnant, on the man's side, we have no rights anymore. It's
I
taken.
have a question about that though. Do you feel
Yeah.
like, because things are changing, we having these brave conversations. Do you feel like once a person is pregnant and that male, conjoining with that woman, do you feel like it should be a way where they both have to agree if they agree or disagree if they want to keep it or not? Like it has to be
I think
like
it should be 50-50. You can't just make a decision and that's a big ass responsibility. That is not like that's
That's
a
a
bigger
life-
responsibility than going to buy a house or a car. You
Yep.
can't make some life-changing choice like that without me, because it takes two. Like I think we
But
need
what
to be on
about
the same
Kayla's
page.
situation where she said that I want to keep this baby though? I want to keep it because
I get it. So a lot of people are religious and
because
they're
it's-
against abortion.
I'm sorry.
I personally think if you're ready to spread them legs, then you better be ready. Just like if we're out here doing illegal stuff, we're not dumb. We know the consequences, right? If you know the
Responsibility.
consequences and you take that chance, then you better be ready, you know what I mean, to take care of that child. I get that some people are like against, you know what I mean. I don't
So
agree with.
my
It's hard.
situation, it was a little bit different. I didn't have my son until I was 35. So I was like, I'm getting older. I knew I didn't like his dad. We had tried to talk and I cut him off, and then boom, liquor and Lake Havasu. Don't know. So I ended
Yeah.
up getting pregnant, and
That's what happened. It was liquor and
and
Lake Havasu.
yes,
I'm
and so I was
done.
just like, you know what? Regardless, like I said, I'm getting too old now. Like I'm not gonna have an abortion. Like that was just what it was. And I was fully aware that I was ready and prepared to take care of my son by myself. And
Yeah.
the reason for court was both good and bad for me. I was dealing with somebody that I found out later on was a drug addict, and was taking my baby and running off and not letting me know where my child was. So I had to go to court. When you go to court for things like that, the judge does mandate that the parent that is the most responsible for the child receives child support from the non-living parent, whatever. They awarded me $84 a month. So it's not always just the max. But as we kept going to court over the next 3 years, he was throwing out, oh, child support's illegal. I'm never going to pay that $84, blah, blah, blah. Took his
That
license
don't even make
away and
sense. What the fuck is
raised,
$84? That's a
then
cheap
then
ass dude. Oh my
raised
god.
raised the child support to $640. Didn't do that either. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to keep going to court for this. I was awarded sole legal custody of my son. Same thing that Jason has. He had full custody, but sole legal, which means the other parent, the other party does not have any legal rights over their child. They only have visitation. So once I got that, I took him off of child
Yeah.
support, because at the end of the day, you can't hold that over me no more.
Yeah, and those
I never
$84
wanted
ain't
that
doing
part of
nothing
it.
for you, girl. Yep.
It wasn't. It wasn't
Yeah.
going to, but it was never going to get paid either way, and he was going to start going to jail. My son, how somehow was told that and was begging me, please don't let my dad go to jail. So
Yeah.
with him only being 5 years old and having a good relationship with his dad, I still try to keep that healthy
Yeah.
between those two, even
Yeah.
though I don't act bitter like that. I
Yeah.
drive to and fro to drop my son off and pick him up because
Yeah.
the person is still a bum. So
Well, if he's
but I
still a
make
bum,
sure that
honestly, because
I make sure that their relationship is still stable, because I know that he needs some
That's
of
his
that
father.
in his life, and then eventually he will come to see who he is, who supported him, and all that. I wasn't raised in a household with the same parents, and I never heard my mom speak bad about my father. And my
yeah.
son has on noise canceling headphones right now, so no, you guys
Yeah.
don't worry. But yeah, it's just like I said, court can be good and bad. Sometimes it's not even worth it to go through the fight at the beginning. But if you have issues with where the child is, just because that other parent, like I said, is bitter, and they will do things in order to force you to go into the court, you have to. I had to start calling. I had to do the CPS thing. I had to do that because the police will not help you. They say, well,
It's a
that's the
civil
other
case.
parent. It is,
Yep.
and it starts to get too stressful, and then you have to turn and involve the people in order to get some kind of sanity. And again, Jason, again, $30,000 in court, high blood pressure, constantly stressed out. Like when you can get to a point where you have to say, you know what, screw it, just take them off child support. But this is what I want. This is
Yeah.
what I want, just to have some peace in your life. And a lot of people are like, oh, my girlfriends, why are you taking them off child support? Because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I've been
Can I
taking care
ask
of
you
my
a
child
question?
anyway. I've
That's
been
Can
a
I
taking
ask
care
baby
of
you a
my
burner.
child
question though
anyway.
about your baby's dad? Do you feel like your son would see him if you didn't drive him up and down over there and all that? Do you think he would come see his
Um,
son?
yeah, he would probably find a way, but it would make it more difficult. Like my schedule,
Yeah.
I'd have to wait and go different places to meet up, because coming to my house is an absolute
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
So it's just worth it for me to know where I'm dropping my son off and where I'm picking him up, because then
Yeah.
I know that that's the constant, and I'm willing to just do it.
Yeah. See, I be thinking different. I be like, because I have friends that are on strung out on some stuff, and I don't know what the deal is. I just feel like I don't want my kids around that. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
care.
I
And I
couldn't
feel
prove
like
it in
it's not
court
my
though.
job to make sure you see your kid. That's just, and I'm not bitter. Like we get along, but I just feel like you got to put some effort, right? Like, I just don't think that the kid should have to settle on both sides. Both parents should equally put effort, and let's meet in the middle. You know what I mean? Let's meet. Let's alternate. I'll take them one day or whatever, or you pick up or something. But yeah, that's just
That's not the type of person I'm dealing with, and I have to
yeah,
do what's best for me, my sanity, and my child. And
of
at the
course.
end of the day, everybody tells me like you're you're overexerting yourself in a situation where he should have to put in some effort. And it's been peaceful for a couple months now, just with me doing everything. And that just puts me still in control of the situation and exactly where I want to
Yeah,
be, because the courts are forcing me to give him 48 hours a week.
yeah.
So
Gotcha.
I have
yet
like
I'm in
three
control of
questions.
that. So mhm.
Mhm.
I have three questions. The first question that I have, do you think that parental classes need to be taught in school, like high school and college and stuff like that? Because a lot of
Yes.
places do have that. And the second thing I have, second question is, do you think people should be mentally evaluated before and after having a child? And also, because a lot of people, like y'all have children, right? And sometimes the people that I know that have children, they said that once the person had a child or once the child is involved in a relationship, the person changed. Like, but I think within like the first 6 months, we see these red flags in the person. Like we know, like, okay,
And we
this
put it on the back
person.
burner.
I'm
Yep.
sorry.
You're right.
Yeah.
Like we see these people core values, we see their shortcomings, we see where they're lacking. Like I know what I want. At the end of the day, I know I want to be a mother. That's my end goal. But I know I have to be making X amount of money in order to provide for that child. And I want my partner to be present. And I know that I cannot have someone that's not generous. I cannot have someone that's not disciplined. I cannot have someone that's not like spiritual. You know, it's certain things that I need in order for me to have. Because I love my womb. I protect it. And I feel like me having a child is a gift. And I don't want to
Yeah.
do it alone. So I'm looking for a specific, I'm not saying I'm looking because I feel like I have the perfect person, but I just have to make sure these check boxes are here. And I'm including God in this situation. But at the same time, yes, we think that we got this perfect person. But once the child is present, the person changed, you know, the mask falls off. So it's just really scary to like give your child to someone, you know. I
Yeah.
don't know
It
if I'm
is
saying it right.
scary, but I do agree with you. I just wish more people would kind of do what you said there. Like, even like as a woman, that's the greatest gift you can give to a man. You know what I mean? It's giving him a child, and you're that, what do you call it, the word I'm looking for? But you kind of like that vessel
You give a man a
of
son,
letting
and
this
he gave
kid
you the
come
world.
on this earth. You know what I
It's the
mean? And
legacy.
you don't really cherish it because you're having a kid with this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Like that shit ain't special no more.
Yeah.
You know what
United
I'm saying?
Kingdoms.
Yep.
So, but then it's like you guys were saying earlier about the whole, you have these kids, man. You never can get rid of it. It's not like me and you buy a house together. We can go sell a house, still split ways. I
It's
don't
a
have to see you
lifestyle.
again.
Parenthood
You
is
know
a
what I mean?
lifestyle.
But you have these quick. You got some women that'll be quick to have a kid, and I'm not always gonna blame it on women because I know some men that went out there purposely trying to impregnate a woman just to
Hmm.
try to keep her too. You know what I mean? Or knock her up hella times in a row, and then when he don't want her no more, he'll first thing he say is, "Well, you know what? The man gonna want you now. You got too many kids." You know what I'm saying? So we do kind of go both ways, but
Yeah.
I think it's kind of fucked up that
I
on
remember
the,
that
on the
person
other end
too.
that you having a kid with a guy if you barely know him, or you having a kid with a guy that you know that he ain't shit. You know he's not financially there. You know he ain't nothing. He's still playing in the streets. You know all these things about this guy. You could be attracted to who you're attracted to. Maybe you want to have sex with him. Then by all means, go ahead. The kid changes things now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then you complain later about what kind of man it is. But
Yeah.
you knew who he was when you was having sex with him.
Hmm.
But the
You
same
know
thing
what I'm
goes
saying?
with
That's the part I don't get. And then as soon as you had a kid, and then you're like, oh, he's not around, and then you want to run the child support and put that on him. Now he don't really like you no more now. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
then, and I don't want to ramble, but I want to say this is that you have situations where you have men out there that, let's just say, one may not have a job, two might not make enough money, and then you throw them on child support too. You know what child support is going to do to them. This man might have a job, maybe not the greatest job, and don't make enough to even take care of himself, let alone take care of the kid, right? So now he's in a situation, what the fuck do I do? Sometimes he can't decide because they automatically taking the money out of his check, right?
Yep.
So that comes out. But then he might not have money to even have a place of his own or a roof over his head. So now you can't drop your kid off to go spend time with dad. And what if he is a dad that really do care about the kid? Maybe because the money is stripped from him, he don't make so much, so he got to live where he got to live, where that could be a weekly, a bad neighborhood, fucked up neighbors. And maybe like, I don't want my kid to come over here in this environment and see me. I don't want you to drop our kid off. It's dangerous. There's all kind of factors play. You know what I'm saying? But I think we got to take this kid stuff a little bit more serious. Just because I'm pregnant,
Absolutely.
you need to sit down and y'all got to talk and make a decision on what's best for both of y'all. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, I'm gonna chime in for this one. I agree with Cash and Freddie said, but I would say women, if they're gonna be in that position, you know, to really like take on that responsibility to one that's holding the custody, I would say set up a account for the kid for the future instead of having a payee having a payee. It's like child support is a payee. They're a business, like Cash said. They're making interest off y'all. They're making money off y'all. But if you get smarter, do it smarter, not harder, you can set up some type of account that'll benefit your kids for the future. But we keep the money out of the system and we keep it within ourselves between. Yeah, you just got to set up something and talk within each other to where the system don't get the money where it goes to the kid. Even if he's putting a little here and there, he might miss a month. It's always open for him to put something in this account because it's going to his kid's future.
I agree.
That way, if we all did that.
But here's the thing. Most girls don't think like that. They're thinking, I need money.
Of course they don't.
This for me or this.
Of course they don't.
But there's dudes too that.
Yeah, of course they don't.
Both sides, you know.
I would if I knew a guy and he said his wife, he had 2 kids. He put in $400 in a month for both of his boys, and I thought that was brilliant of her to have that set up with that man as an adult, and both his kids, you know, got some of that money each month, every month, and she didn't go through the courts and child support, but she set up that account. And like I say, the courts will penalize you if you don't pay this and that, but you just keep it open to him. Even if he might be on drugs, in and out of prison, who knows? But trying to get his license took away for child support so he can't work, you're bitter. You know, he can't do so much. You're limiting him to his to what he need to do. So, yeah.
What you see on that drip is it's not even, you know, that license part, and that's true. What they forget about is all license. Just say if you was a man, you was in the rear. You might have been a man that started off real young and had a kid, right? You still trying to figure out life, get a job. You don't know what you're doing at this point. You got some guys that are teenagers, 20, 21, 22, already having their first kid. They don't even got their shit together, right? So now you go on child support from day one. Sometime a woman can go in on day one, say, yeah, we had our kid a year ago. And she can lie and say, I never received money from him. He's so young-minded, he might have gave her cash.
For the whole 10 years.
So he can't prove that he ever gave her something because the courts doesn't accept that, right? So what the courts, at least California, what they do is they will automatically put the guy in arrears $5,000 starting. The reason they do that with the $5,000 is because now you can't get a passport, you can't go nowhere. So now you start with $5,000 on top of whatever the court order of the monthly payment's gonna be. So that interest goes up real high. So it keep going. So you work a 9-to-5 job. How are you gonna get out that hole? You're not gonna get out that hole. You know what I'm saying? So then you say, okay, well, let me get my life together now. Time go by, he getting a little bit older. Now he's looking at career jobs now, not just a regular fucking $10 hour warehouse job, right? Mm-hmm. Because he's in arrears, again, California I'm speaking on, and it could be, I think it's across the country. He cannot go get a real estate license. He cannot go get a barber license. All of jobs that give you a license where you can make higher income to maybe climb out this hole is stripped away from you. You only do 9 to 5 so the court can keep track on how much money you make exactly. And that's why they do that too. That's why the whole system is fucked up.
Arrears should
That's
be
why I'm against
eliminated
it.
because again, these motherfuckers be living together for like 10 years plus, and she'll turn around and be like, yeah, it was just me alone. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now it's different if let's say you live with somebody and you paid everything and you had a house bitch there. That's one thing. But I'm talking about like these people were together. They both put in. Actually, not even they both put in. Dude would pay mostly everything, and then they'll go into the court, put them on child support, and get arrears all the way back from when the baby was born. Make it make sense. But they do that shit on purpose for interest. That's how they get you on the interest. The higher the arrears are, the more interest they can accrue. So
And
that's
the
why they
interest is higher than
intentionally
a
try to
credit
have that set
card.
up like that.
Yep, it's higher than credit card, loans,
Yeah, it's like
sharking,
37%.
all kinds of
Wow.
shit.
Wow.
That's why you gotta
You know?
read. You guys gotta educate yourselves on the law, and you'll be unfuckwithable in every situation. It's so
Right.
important that people be educated, and I mean that literally, because the shit, I promise you, the shit you think you know, I swear, you can pick any topic, especially in the legal system, and it's the motherfucking opposite. You know what I mean?
We have Chat GPT now. You can ask Chat GPT everything. So I
No,
mean,
like
I feel
for
like
real, like
people
so
who say
that's
they
why.
you gotta
Yep.
ask, you gotta learn how to ask the right questions. Who, what, when, where, how. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Yeah.
people are not even doing the work. But the reason why they're not doing the work because they're not doing the internal work. You gotta know who you are first in
Yep.
order to figure out what's going on in your surroundings and stuff like
Yep.
that. But that's
I
why I
agree.
feel like parental classes need to be taught in school. People are not thinking about the consequences and
Yeah.
them having a child as a lifestyle, because even though I'm 28, my aunt who raised me is still in my life and still taking care of me in ways. Just because a child turned 18 doesn't mean you stop taking care of
Yeah.
that child. It's a
Yeah.
lifestyle. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. Y'all
Yeah.
agree with some of these women with the athletes or the celebrities getting granted tens of thousands of dollars for one kid for child support? And I'm not gonna lie, if I was a woman, that's an incentive for me. That might be a new job
But
for
that's
me.
out
To
of
go out there
pocket,
and try to go
and
get
that's
pregnant
why
on
you. I
purpose.
don't know. I don't be trusting the whole system. I'm telling you, there's some. Come on, let's be realistic. This is one kid we're talking about. Does
Yeah.
it make sense to be paying? Kim K gets paid $200,000 a month per kid, and if you notice Kanye before and now he's like, oh, this different ass person. I think there's a reason for it. I don't know what, but something happened to where that pool just is not the same. Like, you know, he don't have the same views. And I think she was in on it. And I think that's why she gets paid 200,000. That's like a literally the highest child support per
I
kid
don't think she
anybody's
should be
ever
getting
been
child
paid.
support.
Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm
I
saying.
agree.
You're not
How are
trying
you
to
a
get you for
billionaire
child
and getting
support.
support?
They're trying to literally take a whole ass chunk of your gross income. This ain't about child support. It don't cost 200,000 a month to take care of each kid. Make it make sense. You know,
They're
it's out
thinking
of
of
line.
overhead, their houses, their private schools,
Yeah,
their
Maintaining that
transportation, their
lifestyle.
they're
clothes.
thinking about how much
They're
fee they're gonna get
but
back.
that's
That's really
why
all
they
I
get
feel like.
so that's why they get so much is because they live in an environment where bills amount to that. That's why they're getting granted all these tens of thousands of dollars
But she
because
has
if
her own
they
money. Like, you feel me? That don't even make sense.
I
It's
don't
not
like I
like
said,
she's a
I don't
broke
believe
ass girl.
she should be getting child support. I that
I
shouldn't even
think
be
you
a
see what I'm
thing.
saying. Like, this don't even make sense. She had more money than him at one point.
Yeah, she's a
So
He
billionaire.
probably still does.
Yeah.
yeah.
He
So why
probably
does
still
he have to
does.
pay her child support? You feel me? That
Like,
don't even
why is
make
even
sense
child
to me.
support a discussion between them two?
It's just ridiculous.
That
The
part.
whole shit's set
Listen,
up.
listen though, because he did a lot of stuff to antagonize her with the kids too. And
Mhm.
See, there
if
we
you
go.
start
That don't matter.
antagonizing a cool ass baby
I don't
mama,
think he
they're
antagonized her. I
gonna
think
start.
she didn't
How's
accept
she
who
a
he
cool
was
baby mama? She
and
done fucked on
supported him.
everybody. She ain't cool. She a
He
slut.
knew that
She ain't
before
no
he
cool
married
female.
her. Why is she famous?
Don't matter. That's her character. She
I
ain't never been cool.
all I'm
But
saying
he
is
knew
I just
that
feel
though.
like
He should have took
like
accountability of
Of
her core
course.
values. You know what I'm saying. So I understand both
they
perspectives.
both gotta take their piece of the pie.
Yeah. I mean,
You
she
know?
been Kim Kardashian. She been getting ran by everybody. And he knew that, but he's a square from Chicago. He ain't where I'm from. Because when you where I'm from, you got uncommon information and common sense.
So he got to be a square from the suburbs to run up in a bitch that everybody done fucked on and put 4 kids in her. Look at the weird shit he doing now. That's how I know.
He coming after you, Freddie.
You know? He don't come
Kanye coming after you,
lifestyle.
Freddie. I'm just kidding.
He do weird shit. I'm just saying, he do square shit. He interrupt Taylor Swift on stage. You could have whispered in her ear and say, "Can I holler at you when you're done?"
Hey,
He made a big old
I don't
scene.
give a fuck. I don't care. I
mean,
him.
he's a super
Get up there
square.
and keep that shit 100 because it's true.
Hey.
Like the shit ain't.
I like
Did
the
you
fact
see
that
so-
he said his mom.
He said Taylor Swift. So he was weird before she had a kid with him, right?
He wasn't
yeah.
weird. He's weird
For sure.
now. Now he's all over the place.
He
bro.
did the
He
Taylor
was
Swift
weird
before
then.
him and Kim had a
And
kid.
he was spitting facts.
Yeah.
He
She knew who
can't
she was
sing.
having a
Let's keep
baby
that
with.
real.
That's my
He cannot
point.
Yeah, he
sing.
do weird shit. Yeah, he do weird shit.
But he's
Listen,
still a
just
thug.
like
I
Itali
like Kanye.
said, mental evaluations need to be done if you can
Yeah.
afford it. They should have had a mental evaluation. That way she knew he was bipolar. She knew all
Right.
that. We all know Kim got famous because she had a porn, like, we knew she was a hoe. So
She
that's
was a
not
slut.
even a factor.
She wasn't no hoe. Because hoes get dope. She wasn't no hoe.
Drip.
She was a slut.
Okay, Drip, my
America,
bad.
you
Wrong
get that now.
terminology.
America, if you're listening, you know.
There you go.
Dear God.
Anyways, so outside, we're not talking about them. They're irrelevant to our conversation because
Yeah.
nobody's on that level of money. We're
But
talking
we're
about
just
regular
using them
people.
as an example of how unjust
Right.
the system is money wise. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really just set up for one thing.
Listen,
only.
to me, in like I said, envy. I started getting bitter, and I'm like, yeah, charge him more money, take away his license, put him in jail. I started getting like that because you're fucking terrorizing me behind my kid. I want some get back by any means necessary. But
And
he's
that's
like,
human
I'm never
experience.
getting a job. Basically, I'm never getting a job. I'm never
He's
going to give
never
you any
worked.
money.
Your baby's dad's never worked.
Not since he had a kid with me.
Girl,
Wow.
So
I thought I sure knew how to pick.
But
him. You
it's
got me beat.
always trying to
beat.
to
but that's the
dictate
thing. She didn't
you
pick
know
him.
what
Remember?
goes on.
He was Lake
Yeah.
Havasu.
Yeah. So I mean, but when you like I said, when you try to dictate what's going on in my house and how I manage my child and his day-to-day life and all that, you can't say nothing to me if you're not helping and you're not providing and you're not. You tell me, oh, let me know what he needs. He needs to live every day. That's food, clothes. I mean, everything. Give me $40, not $40. I hate that number now. 60. Do something, or just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Just don't bother me. Don't make my life chaotic. Just leave me alone and let me parent and let me raise him. And I don't want no opinion from you because the only thing you do is watch him for 48 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's kind of like the
like
child
life
support
work.
is not a factor, you know, because if you're not doing anything, you're not contributing in any way. Why? Like, why?
Let me ask you
In
all
that
this.
48
then.
hours, I'd rather keep.
Let me ask y'all
Yeah.
this for the women then. If they could charge me a child support, right? Just off top. What about when you have some women that do keep the kid away from the child, whether you might have custody or not, but the guy still makes an attempt to want to see the kid, right? And you got the bitter baby moms that do keep him away. Do you think, and he can show proof to the court and say he is paying child support every month, you think that money should be refunded to him? Do you think could that be a way
Yes.
of stopping all this shit from women keeping the kids away from the dad?
Absolutely.
Yes, like
Absolutely.
what
That's
the
a good
fuck are you
point.
doing? Like, why am I gonna pay if I can't? I don't even get to enjoy spending time with my kids. Like, make
Exactly.
it make sense. It's not
I
that I
hate
don't
when
want
I
to.
hate
It's
when
that
women
you
do
don't
that.
let me. You know what I mean? You don't let me. And in a sense, it's like a pay to play type of scheme. You know what I mean? If you think about it.
The thing is, there's no repercussions for anything because when they do that, they don't get penalized for nothing. Just for instance, if a woman says, "Yeah, I'm pregnant by you," and you raise that kid 18 years and find out that was never your kid, she don't go to jail.
Well,
She
you
don't
can
got to
file
pay
a
that
suit.
bread
That's
back.
why you got to know the law.
Nothing
You
happens.
can file a suit and get damages. Hell yeah, you can, because you're damaged, meaning you took a financial loss for this whole amount of time. As
Well,
long
if
as
you can go to jail
again,
for
there's
not
a
paying
statute
child
of
support,
limitations, but
then
there,
why
hell yeah, you
can't she
get
go
your,
to jail for lying?
well, because you got to have physical or financial harm. Remember that.
No, it's
So,
gotta
but
be
if
about
she
the money.
financially harmed you, you can get her for all sorts of damages. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Mm.
what
Like, for
about the
real, you really
mental
could. But
harm?
you just gotta. Most
Yeah.
people don't know that, and most people don't even. Most people are not motivated like certain things, because for me, what motivates me, it's not money. Don't motivate me, but it's the point of the matter. So for me, even though we all know the courts, it ain't an easy thing to go through. You gotta like really be versed on trying to go through that system. Because if you try to call them for help, they'll tell you they can't give you legal advice. They literally feed you to the wolves and make you figure it out. But I think everybody, I cannot express like how important it is for people to just read. Like, you don't got to read a fucking book. I mean, if you could, great. But just on basic things that impact us in our everyday life, like courts, the legal system, just, stuff that we're going to use every day. But the bottom line is the whole system is a fucking Ponzi scheme. And everybody just needs to take your ass to work and figure it out, and we'll be straight.
Hey, I posted this comment from Miss Doss on here. And the only reason I did it because it just caught me off guard as far as she got me thinking. When y'all was talking about the Kim Kardashian and all the money, right? The 200K per kid, right? She said, if she was black, she wouldn't be getting it.
Yeah.
And then my first thought was,
Wow,
nah,
that's
she
deep.
won't get it because it's a woman. But then it's had me start thinking about it. Celebrities and athletes. Can I even name one that is a black woman that do get that kind of money from child support? And then I started
No.
thinking like, damn, well, first I got to break it down. Like, who the fuck is even married to a black woman kids that got a divorce and child support? And I'm thinking,
Yeah,
and,
now you're damn.
and now I'm thinking like, damn, you might be actually right, because I can't give you one story.
Shawnee
I
O'Neal.
can't give you Carmelo. Oh shit, you right. You right. But I think she the only one.
What about
Shaquille
Cardi B?
O'Neal.
All of those women on the Real Housewives that are divorced from these people get that.
They're not getting like the Kim money. They're not getting the Tiger Woods money. They're not getting $200 and $300 million because you had a kid with this guy. In
You
our
gotta
world, we
you
hear
gotta just know that
25
Oh,
everything you do
$50,000
Tiana
a month.
Taylor. Tiana Taylor, her too. She just got that with Iman.
No, shit. Damn.
That's why if I ever get laid up with somebody,
She is.
I'm literally gonna make a contract like, here's what you can't do. You're not gonna try to get me for child support in the event you ain't. I swear to God, if I ever get in a relationship like that, it's going down. I'm gonna protect myself all the way around. I'm gonna have a contract. We're gonna
It
notarize
is
this
so
bitch, and that's what it is. So
sad
you're not
It's
gonna
that
be
called
we
a
have to get to
prenup.
that point.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
prenup.
prenup. I don't like.
Not
I
even
mean,
a
I don't like
prenup.
it, but
There's
I
gonna be
understand
so
it.
many restrictions and shit. You can't talk about me. You can't try to come for me for this. And you either sign that or you could hit the bricks. That's really the
That's
best
what
way
the
to do it.
court puts in place.
What
Yeah.
you say, Cash? Hey, I think we scaring Cash, man.
No. I just don't like the fact, because I'm the type of person, I'm dating to marry. Like, I'm dating
Me
to
too.
raise. Like, I'm here to do what God told us to do. We
Yes.
here to love. You know what I'm saying? When
Yeah.
did money become God? You know what I'm saying? When
Yep.
did we start being spiteful, doing malicious
Yeah.
tactics? Like, I do not like how things are like came
Yep.
about. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the fact that we have to get prenups and contracts. Like, what the fuck? Like,
That's how
I don't
it
even
is.
want to
It's
do
fucked
it. It's
up.
gonna be like that. You be trusting
Yeah.
me.
Because
I'm
money is
afraid
the
to
root of
love.
all
Like,
evil.
it
People
is.
Yeah.
And
people want money.
I don't
And
even
that's
want
just
money.
what
I'm
it
just
is.
like, look, you can't drag me into court for this. Like all these
So,
little dumb shit that we see every day that's so common.
Actually,
hey,
Like
what
you guys
I,
said, you could
I
have
don't
a
want to get
baby,
all
and
on
then
the
the second you have that
the
baby, the
church hype
person's
and
like
all
not
that
even the
stuff, because
same
y'all
person.
know I'm the furthest thing from a preacher life. But look, do you think it's so much chaos between a man and a woman and kid, like all the shit that's going on? Do you think this is a reason because we're doing it backwards and we're doing it wrong? We're not
Yes.
doing it how we should be doing it.
Yes.
They
the reason why
get
the
to
reason why
know
it's
them,
doing
marry them, then have the goddamn kid.
Yep.
We date. I like you. I'm having your baby. Fuck you. I need child support. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm drunk.
I'm drunk,
Yeah.
I'm high,
Real talk.
party,
I
know
just
what?
feel like people are not even giving themselves grace. Like I feel like we're so used to trying to join life with someone else where we need to get to know ourselves and God first. You know
I
what I'm saying?
agree.
First, we need to get to know who we are as a person,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
figure out what our core value is. What's our passion? What's our the
Yep.
path that God gave us.
Yep.
So you can be compatible with your person. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
like you said, we're not doing it right. We're not including God in our own personal lives. Like we're not
Yeah.
valuing our singleness.
Yeah.
So that's
So
And
how
then more
I
on
think.
what she just said, like I don't think y'all realize how deep what she just said. You got to know yourself. Once you know yourself, then you make time because you're looking for what brings you joy, like what drives you, what's your passion. And that's when I swear it's like planting a seed. Once you know yourself, like really know who you are and you're true and authentic to you, then you'll start to know and want to know about all the other
Mommy,
things. And it just
I know
flows.
how to
Like, you know
spell
what I mean?
next.
So it's pretty cool.
Mhm.
It's pretty deep.
But I could say this too, but sometimes like I'll say like God like allow us to have permissive will. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right because God give us a free will to do whatever
Yeah.
we want, but He also give us permissive will even though it goes against what He want us to do. So I just feel like when God allows us to get those detours, I feel like we learn a lot about the world. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I made a lot of mistakes myself, and I felt like if I didn't make those mistakes, didn't take those detours,
You wouldn't
I
have
didn't get
learned
to
it.
know myself or the people
Yeah.
around me. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I feel like even though we think we're making mistakes, I think that's just part of our life. That's what we're supposed
Yeah.
to be. You know, God already knew what we was going to do when He,
Yeah.
allowed us to be here. But
Yep.
I just feel like there is a right or wrong way to live. But the thing is, it's just like your intentions, I feel like behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but
So
the
hey,
impact matters too. The impact matters too.
Mm-hmm.
Intention and
so
impact.
I think earlier somebody mentioned about people having like evaluations and all that first before having a kid, maybe before and after something like that, right?
Mhm.
If that was the thing, how would you do that? Like, how would you go about it? Because they can just go out and go have a kid. So where would that time come from?
Just like they got Instagram where every time I get on Instagram they know exactly what I like. They know how to figure out a way where they can create the right psyche type of test. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like people need to have those tests right after high school. Soon they turn 21. Just like for women, we have to take the to figure out precancerous cells. What is it called? Like a Pap smear. Sorry,
Mhm.
we need to take those psyche tests for like parenting, like every 5 years or something like that. Because I feel like we go through so much shit with life. I feel like we should be able to get mentally tested. But I feel like it's a way because if they can do this AI shit, they can definitely do a psyche test for parental stuff. So
Sometimes I feel. I mean, and the only reason I was asking, I think it's a good idea, but I just don't know how you can do that since people can go out there and have sex whenever they want to have it. You know what I
you
mean?
have a
Like for instance,
personality test. Like they have it to where like they have personality tests to where
Yeah.
like when you take
like
those tests,
everybody don't deserve to be a parent, and I think we
I agree
probably
with
agree
you.
on that. You got
I
people
agree with
that
you.
purposely raise their kids to be bad and brag about it. Oh, that's my son. He's badass. Well, you know he bad. Do something
Mhm.
then. Straighten his ass up right now before he become a badass adult. He gonna be in a badass jail.
Yeah,
You
them
know what I
little
mean?
6-year-olds that are all over social media running their mouth and cursing and stuff, and you're like,
Mhm.
where's your mom? Where's your dad?
Twerking and all that.
You
Yep.
say
Yeah.
something like
Yep.
that to me, I'm gonna throw a shoe at your face.
That's
Like,
embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'd beat the brakes off my kid.
seriously, yeah. Like, nah, we ain't gonna have that. But like, I've got my oldest is gonna be 27 in April. My middle
Wow.
child just turned 23. My middle kid is an athlete. He's gotten 2 scholarships to play basketball at different colleges in different states. The one thing I try to tell him is that everywhere you go, the thoughts are going to be the exact same thing. It's just a different platter. You're going to go to Arizona, it's going to be a Hispanic platter. If you're going to go to the South, it's going to be a black platter. You're going to go north, it's going to be white. Every one of them is going to be the same. You don't need to get yourself caught up with any of those type of women because, for one, if you're a basketball player, you already have potential where you can have an upward trajectory, especially if you're good, that if you get picked up by a good college or you get picked up by an NIL deal, these NIL deals, my son, like he's got friends of his that are making thousands of dollars a year just for playing a sport to do nothing other than be an 18-year-old kid. So I'm trying to teach both my other sons. Do not do anything. Absolutely. If you want to meet a woman and date her and have sex and everything that you want to, that's fine. Do not make
Wrap
any
it
type
up.
of life commitment to anybody until you are at least 30 years old. And the reason why I say that and this is I'm contradicting myself because I had a child when I was 18 years old. I was still in high school when I had my first son. I graduated with that boy on my damn lap.
It's beautiful.
You don't want to go through the struggles that I had to go through financially, mentally, physically, everything that I've had to go through because I picked the wrong person that wasn't going to be a cohesive with me in how I wanted to raise my sons. At 30 years old, I know who I was much better than I was when I was 18 years old. So at 30, I had a career. I was making very, very good money, and I was able to take care of myself and would have been able to take care of somebody else like I was with my 2 children at that time. So I decided at that point, I'm going to go out and reintroduce myself into the dating scene and try to find someone that I would want to cohabitate with in the long term. And I met my second ex. And everything just, it worked out in the beginning. And then after a couple of years, it just, the cultures were what ours was. It was just a little bit too hard for us to overcome. But I'd still tell my son that right now, at 23 years old, do not get a girl pregnant. Because if you do, right now, in this age that we live in right now, especially you, they're going to attack you for every single thing that you do. You're going to be asked to pay for a child that you barely will get to see just because you played basketball. Like everywhere you've gone, you've seen that. Is that something that you really want to deal with in your life? Can you afford to even pay for gas in your car right now? Then you have no business being in there laying in somebody else's sheets and potentially.
Well, what do we get better science then? What do we get better science? So when women or men, when we have kids and you have a son, while they're down there getting them circumcised, what do we have better technology and get a snip from birth? When he becomes an adult and you have your shit together, we have better science that know how to reverse that snip. Where I'm ready to be a family man. I'm ready to start a family, and you get a reverse and start having the kids that you want to. Then that eliminate accidents.
That's not.
You don't get the latex about the latex because I'm late text.
Latex for real.
Control, dude.
Oh, and that boy rap, y'all already know that.
People just got to use birth control. That's just the bottom line.
Well,
hey, I just think that people should have sex.
It's not for everybody.
I agree with that. But they're going to do it anyways. They're going to do. People are going to do whatever they. I agree with what she said, but and that's another thing. Like if we look around us, sex is plastered everywhere. Like what are we doing to the? What are we showing the kids? You know,
a lot of people are using it as a handshake and not valuing it being sacred. So
yeah,
it doesn't have a meaning no more.
Yeah, when I was younger, I was bad. I was bad. But as I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate a lot more. Like I haven't dated in 5 years. I haven't been in an actual relationship since my ex-wife left. That's going on 9 years this year. Like I don't have time. Yeah, I don't have time to deal with your bullshit. And if she has kids, and again, no offense to any of the ladies that are here, especially wherever Gigi went, if you have kids and you have a problem with your man, I'm not going to deal with it because that's not my problem. That's yours.
Yeah.
And if you're
but if you heal like you did, because it takes years to heal. You got to heal from your traumas, or you're going to pass those toxicities on, and it's just going to keep going. You got to heal because once you're alone, that's when you know who you are, like for real. And people,
I still have
a lot of people are scared to be alone.
Where she used to hit me. So yeah.
What y'all think about this? That's on the screen right now. What y'all think about that comment?
I'm gonna be single. It's all good, and I'm so cool off that.
Yeah, I guess I'm fucked.
And you ain't missing out either. It's like digging through the garbage. So you are so good.
I feel like the reason why this is a thing is because people want peace.
Yep.
I think that's just what it is.
It really is. I mean, that would be the most amazing thing to have is peace. I think after having my kid is when I started reevaluating what the hell am I doing and why am I even in situations to, be in the situation I'm in. Because, just not thinking and not really knowing myself and what I want. But I started doing that now. And it's very hard for me to continue on with somebody that immediately has like one red flag. I'm like, no, that's not going to work. This is, because I'm trying to, I, in being alone, you start to know yourself more, you start to understand things. And then red flags and stuff, jump out to you a lot faster. Once you've actually been through some shit, but then you've healed from it, you're not going to allow nothing even remotely close to that back in your life. That's healing,
Absolutely.
because you're saying, I'm not allowing that no more. This same pattern is not going to happen again. You know, just even in the talking stage, you can see these
Right.
things clearer once you have aligned with yourself and you know how to love yourself more. You're saying that's not love. You know, that's not a sign. This is not going to work.
You think
So,
part of his trauma now?
I mean, I'm over 35 and I feel like it is trauma, but then people start trauma dating. They date other people with trauma, and then their traumas come together, and then boom, toxic. It's just,
Yeah, we've seen
yeah.
them. They're
But
out yelling at each other at the club, just screaming, "Why are you looking at her? I wasn't looking at her. I was just drinking. Shut up!"
That's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Hella like,
It's crazy. But you
That's
just
crazy.
like, yeah, you have a lot of points about, you know, healing. Therapy is actually a really good thing that a lot of people, especially men, because I feel like some reason, you know, they're scared to do that transition into therapy and start talking to people and being more in touch with their emotional side, their feelings and things like that. This is where a lot of healing begins, when you get to talk to somebody that is non-biased.
So
Well, there's a
you said
stigma that
also,
comes of-
are you really happy alone? And even plants need companionship.
I have plants. They're lovely. And I have a kid, so I'm not alone. That's like, it's just, yeah, you can be happy without a significant other. You have to to do less stuff too. You know how to cook,
gotta
you don't
love
gotta
yourself.
do nothing.
You know, I play video games at night with my best friend. We play for like 2 hours. It's just something that we do that we can get on at the end of the night, decompress, kill some shit, have some fun for 2 hours, and then go about our business. But you know, I had a cat for 16 years that I just put down. She got too old. I'm not lonely. I'm lonely in the sense that I don't have a companion there. But if I'm going to be sitting there watching a movie and it's going to be just constant chattering in the background, or somebody's doing death scrolls on their fucking TikToking all day long, or they're just jabbering to their girlfriends about nonsense, I'm going to take the fucking peace. I would rather be alone. Yeah, I would rather be alone and jerk off in my fucking shower than have to listen to 5 minutes of that bullshit. A man's peace.
Keep that shit 100. It's all good. Yep.
A man's peace. We deal with so much bullshit in the real world that we think of exactly alone. We like the peace of mind. Mm-hmm. We deal with so much shit that women don't necessarily think about, and it's nothing wrong with that. But it's like all the little things that we got to worry about. Paying the bills. We worry about making sure we got food. We got to put gas in the car. Are tires good? Are the brakes good on my car? How's my mom doing with her nerve damage because she got into a car accident 2 months ago? How's my dad's heart doing because he had open heart surgery 3 years ago? What about my oldest son? What about my middle son? What about my other son? What about my brother? Yeah, I can. It's easy. If I really want to go out there and chase it, I can do it. I choose not to. I don't want to chase ass. I want to find the ass. The one ass. I don't need ass. I've had ass in my past, many of it, all shapes, sizes, colors. I want the one ass.
He must have not watched last week's podcast. So you're not for polygamy.
You stand on it, man.
Yeah, we stand on that.
Oh boy, crazy.
Women, let me ask you guys, how easy is it for you to pick up the phone and make one text to 5 dudes and say, I want some dick? How easy is it for women to do that and make the bad choices of what we're discussing on right now?
We don't even got to call them. Dudes are so thirsty. We just got to like, just
men are easy.
And then somebody will come
Men are easy.
Dudes are that grimy, bro. Like, it's so
men are easy.
Men are simps. Real men aren't. Real men are the ones that are. Yeah, the real men are the ones that are
hard, though.
Yeah, the real man sitting in his fucking lounge chair playing video games at 8 o'clock at night, not in the fucking streets hustling.
You're a real man because you take care of your kids. Freddie's a real man.
That's
so
right,
you guys don't got to worry about that.
That's right. You see, I'm staying at home.
Well, just remember, there's a secret. There's a secret. I hope y'all enjoy your relationship, the best of all y'all endeavors. but there is a secret to the recipe I must confess. Every
Sir.
relationship has an expiration date.
Ooh.
Oh, what the
I don't
hell?
agree with that.
Every relationship has an expiration date.
I
Yes, it
disagree
does.
with that. I think
Hey.
that's
Oh,
your
my
bitter
Okay.
side coming out.
Hope.
My heart.
I'm just being honest.
The only thing that is inevitable is that we're gonna die. So
Right,
that's
exactly.
the only guaranteed
Bless
thing.
you.
Everything else, there's no. Y'all could try to foresee. Ain't nobody psychic. We can't foresee the future, and I think things do last forever, and I think that relationships could and do last long. Maybe not, as common as it used to be, but I don't think everything has an expiration date. I think it's what we put on it. Just like nothing, there's no such thing as a limit. Only what you put on it. The only limit that exists is whatever you put up for yourself. You know what I mean, or what society tells you. But that don't mean that's reality. So it's how you think about it. I think if your mindset is like that, because remember, you're as above, so below. That means what you think in your mind becomes your reality. So if you
Yep.
think that, then that's going to be your reality. That's what as above, so below means. You know what I mean?
A pair of
Your
shoes
mind
got
controls
an
everything.
expiration date. A car, your teeth, your looks. Just think
No.
about it.
But again, every choice you
Yeah.
make, every little choice you make, whether it's interacting with somebody, everything happens for you and not to you. So if you're put in a position, just know that's where you're supposed to be, right? So every choice, that's why you gotta be aware, and you gotta be connected to your spiritual self. Because if you're aware and connected, then you're gonna make choices that are in your best interest. And you'll literally be in a moment thinking, okay, I'm going to do something I shouldn't be doing, but you're so aware that you're like, nope, I'm going to go flip a bitch and go back home because this is in my best interest. That's when you could tell that you're aware. You are connected to yourself, your authentic self. You know what I mean? So you got to
Yeah.
change the way you think to change your reality.
Cash, you
The
better
clothes
hurry
you
up
had
before
it
you're 35, or you're gonna be talking like this.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Because
You
it's like
better hurry
setting
up and get
yourself up
married
for
before you're
failure. It's like
35.
you're already
Well,
speaking,
God, I'm not
negatively
rushing
and
that. I just want God to just do Him in my life. Like I just want Him to do His thing. Whatever God wants in my life, I'm just like, God, just do it. I'm putting
yeah,
Him first.
You
yeah.
hear all these
Because if
bitter
I do
conversations
it,
we having?
huh?
You hear all these bitter conversations we having?
It's the human
And it's all of us.
experience. It's
Me
the human
too.
experience.
I'm not bitter. What the hell?
Wait,
I'm not bitter. I am not. Dude, no. I'm done.
He's actually done.
Oh, now he covered the camera so you can see him laughing.
Oh,
Yeah, we about to we gonna scare Cash. I promise you, boy. We already scared her. But, man.
Listen, I
no,
prayed.
no.
I prayed, and you know what? I prayed for a son, but I was not intentional with my prayer to God. So just be careful what you pray for, and pray with intention behind it. That's all I say. If you're putting God
I'm
first
trying
in
to
your
be
choice in your
specific.
relationship, because He did
make
give
sure you
me a
say,
baby like
God,
I
I'm
asked
ready
and
for it.
prayed
God, please
for,
give me a son. But put the comma
Here
but
go the
with
with
a
sign.
the
lesson.
dude that
But with a
can keep a
lesson.
job and all this extra shit. You know what I mean?
Here go the sign.
Uh-uh.
You see this on the screen? You see this comment?
Who is that for?
He said the guy's already like your best friend, and y'all just be letting him slip by. That's the
Yep.
guy you're supposed to be with.
I have a very unhealthy relationship with God and religion. I believe in God. I don't believe in
Ooh.
religion because the last church that I was going to, they were preaching their message, not God.
Yep.
I don't
Hey,
need you.
that was deep what you just said, because God and religion is two different things. Now,
Absolutely.
society wants you to follow religion,
Mhm.
but you got
Right.
to remember, God, there's one God. There's not 10 gods. There's one creator of all of us.
One.
So, and think about this. You got to just go through the Bible and read. And like you said, religion is separate. That's the thing. They want to separate us from God and have us look outward. But if you think about who you are created in the Lord's image, literally in the physical form. The Holy Spirit ain't some spirit outside of you. That's your spirit that's in you right now. Okay. And every time a woman gives birth, you're literally bringing a whole ass spirit from the subconscious realm over to the real world, right? That's really deep shit.
That's
So
deep.
the bottom line is God is not outward. If you want to be praying to outside, you need to look within. It tells you your body's the temple of the Lord. So instead of looking outward, you need to be looking in. Period. That's why you got to make choices that are in your best interest. Like that's the whole
That was in the
purpose of.
book of Deuteronomy. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Come to the church. I'm Reverend
Yeah.
Durong. Come to the church, girl.
Reverend Durong.
It's
All the
good that
crooked ass.
everybody. It seems like everybody is in agreement that child support should not be used as a weapon. And like I feel like the man should have a right to opt out. If he does not want to take care of his child, the mother doesn't. She's not fit to take care of a child. They have adoption centers, but people just really, really need to hone in on what it takes to bring a baby in the world. Some women, like I said, will have a baby just to keep a man and end up resenting that baby and that man, abusing that child and neglecting them and things like that. It's women too. Women, I've seen so many mothers and I'm just like, why? Why are you allowed the same blessing that I have? And I would never do my kid like that, no matter
Right.
how I feel about the other
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
I just could not imagine. I mean, and you've seen so many stories now of these women killing kids and doing stuff, and putting them in dryers and starving them and just doing a whole bunch of weird stuff. The lady that was on YouTube, married to her they had a whole house, the husband and wife, they were married. She was abusing the kids right under his nose. How? Like a lot of it just doesn't make sense. Some people just are not, if somebody's telling you, hey, I don't want to be a parent, I don't want to have a child, I don't want to be a father, let them go, because at the end of the day, again, that resentment, that bitterness, things like that will affect your child. Step up, get a job, take care of your kid by yourself, leave the court out of it. Don't go get child support from him because you don't want him around, and that person could potentially be getting visitation and just to spite you hurt your kid. So yeah, I feel like a man should be able to opt out of fatherhood. Don't force somebody to do something they don't want to do, because when you do that, people become angry and they can become bitter, and these people now are hurting kids behind it. It's not worth it. The child support is not worth it. If you love your kid, if you love that baby that you chose to have as a woman, be prepared to fully take care of it, because even dragging through court and having split custody, my son doesn't like it either. He would probably prefer me and his father stay in the same house, but he doesn't understand how toxic and dangerous that would be, to have us both locked up in prison, or just me for murder.
Yeah, a 48-hour weekend and a 12-hour drive.
Stephanie caught that. It's just, yeah, I feel like everybody said their piece and is agreement with the topic tonight, that it's being so abused and watered down. It needs new regulations if something's going to happen, if something's going to come of it. But absolutely none of us believe in forcing the other party to be a part of our kid's life. But not everybody has a healthy mind like us, and that's just as simple as it is. If everybody on this panel could be, set the example for everybody else in the world, then it probably would be eliminated or evaluated differently in, how involvement is for two people raising a kid.
I thank you for bringing that back around to the topic. I appreciate that. That was a good statement too. Man.
Absolutely.
The moral of the story is get your ass up and get a job and stop being a leech. Bye.
Yeah.
Take care of yours. Keep it peaceful, and you won't have these issues. But if you want to keep being toxic and a couch princess, you ain't gonna make the cut. Quit trying to expect somebody else to pave the way for you. Period.
I don't believe that abortion should be used as any type of child birth control. Like I don't believe in it, but I don't get to tell you how you feel. That's my belief. If you feel that you got to go get 5 abortions because you don't want to have babies, That's on you. You're gonna deal with the mental of that when you get older and all them bodies that have been expunged from you. You're gonna deal with that. You're going to deal with that, not me, you. But I don't agree with it. And if you are too stupid to understand that, with even with like all the prophylactics and safe things that are out there, so you cannot get pregnant, they're out there. You're choosing to not utilize those, then you're dumb enough that you're going to have to take care of that responsibility. But at that same sense, I also agree with that. If she's in there, if she's in there doing something and she gets pregnant and then she's like, well, I'm pregnant. And he's like, well, I was never intended to be a father because I don't live here. I go someplace else where I live everywhere. Like, I'm not going to raise this kid. I'm not going to be part of this kid. He should have that option because of that. But, you know, like I said, every scenario is different. It really is.
It's a case by case situation. It's
it
a
really
very
is.
sensitive
Like I said,
topic because let's just say if a woman wants to have a child, right? I
Yep.
want to have this baby, but
Yep.
my partner already have X amount of children and he's not ready to take on this child, even though this is what I want. This is what I want. But
Yep.
why would I force my partner who's not ready? Should I
Yeah.
take that L by not having a baby right now? Or should I go ahead and take it and give a fuck? I don't give a fuck what he says. So it's really sensitive.
It's gonna end your relationship with him because now you're putting him in a predicament he asked you not to put him in.
Exactly.
So that
It's not
becomes
that
that nulls that. That nulls that because he's gonna say, I told you I didn't want a kid right now, another one.
Yeah, if that
And
person
you should
was,
just use preventative measures as soon as they say that to you.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, even if that's what you want right now and he doesn't, then go find somebody that does. Start all over again because if a man is telling you that, that's the honest to God truth, and you're not going to change his mind about it.
yeah, it's circumstantial, but
Men are
sometimes
honest. They're simple. There is that's not
very
a
much
hint.
so, very much so.
That's a very like, I don't want a kid right now.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's true. But shit, man. Well, I appreciate all y'all up coming on
Yeah,
tonight,
gotta
man.
wrap
We're
it up.
just
I
gonna
gotta
go ahead
go
and wrap it up. You want to do it again, man. Come up with another topic, man, and dive deep into another one. So y'all text me or email me or something like that. Let me know what y'all want to discuss for the next show. I'm actually planning on coming back on tomorrow, same time. So if anybody's available, just go ahead and reach out and let me know. And once again, thank all of y'all for coming on tonight, man. And everything we said, y'all better believe we standing on it. So don't call us later trying to change our mind either. We stand on everything we say and shit.
Yeah.
It was nice
y'all.
meeting all of you.
But
Have a
thank
good
you.
night, y'all.
too.
Everybody have a good night,
Bye.
y'all.
And subscribe and share.
Hit them
Bye.
likes.
Bye.
To your social media.